Let's hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Puck It with Joe. Hey, good morning, everyone. It is time for Puck It with Joe over here on YouTube. I hope everyone's having a great start to the day. Was just trying to get my X set up and going, but having a little bit of difficulties there with the X account. Not working, but it's okay. We have one game underway, the Colorado Avalanche versus the Buffalo Sabres. You should call those all Madden parlays. Okay, making some freaking money. You made $300 off a $5 long shot parlay that we bet here. I am so excited to hear that. Let's make some freaking money is right. Good luck with your oil change, and let's do it again today. John, good to see you here as well. You guys, there's no X today, so everyone on YouTube, I will share this over on X afterwards, but let's get going. One game underway already. The Colorado Avalanche versus the Buffalo Sabres. A first period here. We have seen the Avs go up, getting the goal. Actually, I don't have this game on, so let me just see who was able to get that goal. Of course, it was Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon for the goal. Martin Necas with the assist out there. 1 point for them both already on the books. Brett Burns also registered the assist on the defensive side of things. So right now you can look at the Buffalo Sabres to come back and be impactful in this game. They're plus 285 on the money line. That's exactly where I would go with the Buffalo Sabres. Give me the Sabres plus 1.5 at plus 114. A sprinkle on that money line at plus 185 for your live bet in this game. Puck possession, we are looking at both of these teams coming out nice and strong. We are seeing Colorado, though, being the team that is able to get those shots on goal. 10 shots on goal already for Colorado, only 1 for the Buffalo Sabres. Look for that to change here. They're on a TV timeout. Plenty of time to get the Buffalo Sabres plus the 1.5. I do think they have every ability to fight their way back in this matchup today. You look at the Buffalo Sabres here on home ice. And I do think Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch, just such strong playmakers out there for this team. Now, they have started off 0-2. We saw Josh Norris go out in that first game with an injury, and that's a huge hole to fill for this team. But Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch are such strong goal scorers that I do think they have the ability to contribute. You've got Rasmus Dahlin as well here. And then you've added on Jason Zucker to this team. And I do think it gives a nice spark to the offense. I'm looking for them to stay consistent here with the Colorado Avalanche and give them a fight. Now, if you're looking at as shots on goal, you can look at Cale Makar. I want to see if we're getting anything live here for Cale Makar. I love the offensive defenseman out here for the Colorado Avalanche. I'm not getting anything for him, but you could look at his point today. So his point coming in now live for Cale Makar, I'm not getting on the books. You are looking at first period point for Tage Thompson at plus 920, man. If Tage Thompson could cash us that would be great to see. The penalties are coming in this game. We've already had 2 penalties for Colorado, 1 for the Buffalo Sabres. With that comes the ability of these teams to be able to convert on that power play. I do think looking at an under in this game seems a little dangerous because of all of those penalties thus far. We have seen the total drop to 5.5 live here. The 5.5 is juiced to the over at minus 132. And I do think Alex DeBrincat has every ability today to get us a point. Irish King, so good to see you here. Revolution of the Classics, great to see you too. And Larry, locking in a parlay already of Matthews, Heiser, Kaprizov, and Gunther there. Nice way to go. And Kev, good morning. So let's get going. I'm going to look at Irish King. I'll look at your comments in a second. So if you guys don't have a bet in on this one, already. I would look at the Buffalo Sabres +1.5 at +108, +280 on that money line for a little bit of a sprinkle, and this one to go over 5.5. I do think this is a 4-2 style or 4-3 style win. Going over the 5.5 at -138. I think the Sabres again can keep it within a goal. When we do look at Nathan MacKinnon, he's already got that goal. He's already had 4 assists on the season as well. He's definitely a playmaker. You don't want to take your eyes off. And one thing to note with that puck line for the Buffalo Sabres, the Avs have failed to cover the puck line in each of their last 9 Monday road games. Weird trend, right? But still a trend to follow there. Our next game coming up is the Winnipeg Jets taking on the New York Islanders. This one kicking off in the next 5 minutes. The Winnipeg Jets are -114 on the money line, and we are seeing the shift coming in with money coming in on the New York Islanders, -105 here at home. Now that Islanders have dominated Winnipeg in their home building. I don't know what happens to the Winnipeg Jets when they go into New York to take on the Isles, but they seem to take those losses. I'm not buying in on it for this one. I do think the Winnipeg Jets have every ability to get the win here on the road. This total sitting at 5.5. -128 to the over 5.5. Looking at this game, Connor Hellebuck versus Sorokin. Now, the New York Islanders didn't impress me at all in their 2 losses versus the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Washington Capitals. They just looked a mess out there. If they had looked stronger in those 2 games, maybe I would look at that trend pointing me towards them on their home ice, as they have won 8 of the last 10 versus Winnipeg in New York, but I just can't get behind it. You've got too many playmakers that are playing too strong here for the Winnipeg Jets. Kyle Connor, I will look for the Winnipeg Jets for a goal. He has 3 goals and an assist in just 2 games, you guys. He was able to get the Hattie versus the Dallas Stars in the season opener. You've also got Mark Scheifele. He is rolling so hot. 2 goals, 3 assists in just 2 games. So Mark Scheifele already with 5 points on the board. Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, both of them for 2+ points tonight. I bet them separately, and then Kyle Connor for the anytime goal. Kyle Connor, anytime goal. Mark Scheifele, the assist. Irish King. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love these ones for sure. And last question, do you think Nico Hischier will start racking up the points? Nico Hischier really does need to turn it on there for the New Jersey Devils, and I do think we're going to start seeing that coming in. So I would bet on Nico Hischier to be able to stand up today and get us those points on the board. Irish King already cashed both teams to score. Colorado, same game parlay. Ran it back. Nathan MacKinnon, anytime goal, and Natchez for the assist. Wow. Nicely done, Irish King. I love where you're going with that one. Did we see Buffalo score yet? No, we haven't seen Buffalo score a goal in that one. We have 3 minutes left in the first period. So let's see what's going to happen out there, as I almost fell off my chair. You guys been sitting here for a while. I don't know why I was slipping off. Let's look at the next game out there, the Nashville Predators. We're going to fly through these games as they are dropping right away. And sorry that I didn't get the show out earlier. The Nashville Predators is the next one we're going to look at. The Nashville Predators are coming in here and taking on the Ottawa Senators. This one has a total of 5.5, -128 to the over. The Preds are a +150 underdog, -182 for the Ottawa Senators. That's a gross number there. I do think we go over the 5.5. Now, the over 5.5 is coming in at -128. It's pretty juicy, but I do think Ottawa in this game gets that bounce back off that ugly loss to the Florida Panthers. This is their first home game of the season. And I know we look at these teams with their first home game of the season. There's been some nasty ones, but it is the first road game of the season here for the Nashville Predators. We got Saros in net for the Preds and Allmark in net for the Ottawa Senators. Against Utah, Nashville missed a ton of scoring opportunities. They fell 2-3 in overtime. They recorded 12 penalty minutes. They were just in the box too much. 5 attempts on the power play, but weren't able to score. They only put in 2 goals in, the puck in the back of the net, 2 of 22 shots on goal. So they had those struggles finding the back of the net. This is a team that is known for a strong defense and skilled forwards, but they've been struggling offensively to start the season here. Saros has been holding them in games versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Saros stopped 37 of 38 shots on net. Allmark and the Ottawa Senators. So we saw the Senators get that comeback win versus the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-4, and then they just fell on their faces versus the Florida Panthers. They lost that one 6-2. They've won 3 of the last 4 meetings versus the Nashville Predators, and I do think this is a tight overtime battle. You want to get this overtime bet in. I've taken 2 games to go to overtime today. This is one of them, plus 340 to go to overtime between the Nashville Predators and the Ottawa Senators. They always play these tight games, and that's why I can't look at Ottawa right now on the puck line. 6 of the last 11 games between the Ottawa Senators and the Nashville Predators have gone to overtime. That is a huge trend to the overtime bet. Ottawa has conceded more than 2 goals to Nashville in 17 of the last 21. So if you're looking at the Preds to be able to get over 2 goals, I do think they're going to get the 3 goals. We have seen 17 of the last 21 meetings, we've had Ottawa give up at least 3 goals to the Nashville Predators. And then we have seen in Ottawa, the Ottawa Senators allow 2 or more goals to the Nashville Predators in 9 of the last 11. The Predators have failed to cover the puck line in the last 7 road games, but I do think this is one where it's kept that tight. Philip Forsberg with 683 points in 782 games in his career. You got to look at those points. They're starting to rack up. And Yossi coming in here with 725 points in 964 games. I will take overtime. I'll take the over 5.5, and I will take the Ottawa Senators if they go down to the Nashville Predators. Live betting opportunity. Tags Thompson. Frickin' scores. Did you guys bet it? It was plus 920. I was talking to you guys. If I wasn't talking to you guys, I would have got it in. Please tell me someone out there took Tags Thompson for the anytime goal at plus 920. That is how you frickin' start a Monday. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving and happy Columbus Day to all of the Americans watching out there. Tags Thompson frickin' goal. I tell you, Irish King, I wish I could have got that plus 920 value on it right there. What is the other game that I have to go to OT? Larry, are you telling me you don't want to stick around and wait for the other game to go to overtime? Well, I got that game to go to overtime. The other game that I have to go to OT. Are you ready for it? Because I can't remember. I have one more game to go to overtime, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to be tricky. It's not Toronto. It's not Boston. It is the game between. Which one did I take to go to overtime? It's plus 320, go overtime. I just put this bet in. I don't know. That's a good question. What other game? Oh, I know which game it is. It is a game that's going to be so tight between these two. The St. Louis Blues that took on the Calgary Flames got the win. They're now going to go into Vancouver. I think the St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks go to overtime. Both of these teams are balanced and strong out there. Plus 320 is the overtime bet for the Blues and Vancouver. Binghamton versus Demko, I believe, is your matchup out there. So, Larry, it is the St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks game to go to OT, and then we're going to look at the Nashville Predators and the Ottawa Senators game to go to overtime. So those are both of them out there. Irish King, you didn't take it either, man. I really hope someone took that live bet. God, that would have been some nice freaking money to start our Monday. That is for sure. Let's move on to the next game, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins. Tampa's 0-2 to start the season. Mind-blowing. And then the Bruins are 3-0. What the heck is going on out there on the ice? Andre Vasilevsky versus Swayman is your goaltending matchup. We're looking at Tampa has already scored in this one. Tampa is the right side. I would look at a live team total to the over. I would look at live on the puck line laying 1.5 at minus 115. I think Tampa wins and dominates, but the Boston Bruins have been able to get some goals on the board as well. I'm not getting a live team total here. There it is. Boston over 3.5 goals. It's now minus 195. Okay, so that is too juicy. The Boston Bruins team total is 2.5. It's minus 120 to the over. I do think both of these teams are going to put some goals up. Andre Vasilevsky, over his save shots on goal, if you can still jump on it, was 28.5. You're looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was over 3.5 at minus 106. If stuff settles down, we're going to start to see that value come back in. Pasternak for the point today. He's so dangerous against the gaps right now in Tampa's defense. So I do think we go over the total, you guys. I'm looking for both of these teams to be able to put points on the board. The over 6.5 too juicy right now at minus 154. If you can get both teams to score in the first period, still live, I am seeing the numbers coming up. Both teams to score in the first period between these two teams, or even Boston to score in the first period is minus 110 because they're not giving us a line on the other one. I do think Boston finds the back of the net. So we've already got a 1-0 lead here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Would I be willing to take Boston straight up on the money line? No. I don't have enough faith in the Boston Bruins to get things done. The Winnipeg Jets and the New York Islanders has dropped the puck as well, still 0-0 in that. Things have locked up, so I'll let you know the scoring in the Nashville Predators and the Ottawa Senators. 0-0. Remember, again, if Nashville goes up, come in on the Ottawa Senators live on that money line. We're going to stay tuned here to these games as we go over the other one. And Pasta and Point, you got to look at Pasta and Point for the anytime goals parlayed together. I love it. I do think both of those have such strong abilities to be able to get it. Braden Point already has 4 points on the season. I also like him with Jake Gunsel. Braden Point and Jake Gunsel for the points as well. I think a really strong way to go. Nikita Kucherov has been solid out there. And then Pasternak on the other side for the Boston Bruins, or Morgan Geekie. Morgan Geekie has been solid. The Bruins have lost their last 6 as an underdog against the Atlantic Division. The Bruins have covered the puck line in each of their last 10-day games. So this is a team that can play during the day. You got with Cirelli out there. Okay, let's fly through the rest of these games because this one is starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. The Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Cam Talbot versus Stallars. The Red Wings did win this matchup on Saturday at home. The Leafs went up to 2-0, and then the Red Wings fought their way back, winning at 6-3. I do think Toronto gets revenge in this one. I'm taking the Leafs straight up on the puck line, laying a goal and a half at plus 152. Big bounce back. You can also look at their team total over 3.5 goals. We're going to see Easton Cowan making his NHL debut. Now, he has been with the team, but he hasn't hit the ice, and he's on that top line. Unbelievable. On the top line, young kid out here. He's 20 years old, making his debut. He's slotted on the top line with Austin Matthews and Knives. He is going to bring that youth, that speed to Toronto's attack. His anytime point coming in at plus 118. I do think it's probably Matthews that gets a goal, or Matthew Knives, Austin Matthews or Matthew Knives, but I won't be shocked if Easton Cohen in his debut here nets us one at plus 118 for the point. I think the point is worth it. We look at Greg Berube after the loss to the Detroit Red Wings on Saturday. Said Detroit played well and we had an early lead and didn't play the second period the way we should have. So you're going to look at Toronto. They're going to come out guns a-blazing in that first period. Patrick Kane leads the Red Wings with 1 goal and 3 assists. So he has been strong. You got Lucas Raymond. He had 2 goals versus the Maple Leafs on Saturday, including his 100th career goal. So he was awesome. DeBrincat had the 3 assists. So I do think DeBrincat a strong player to look at. But this game for me, it's all about Toronto. I do think they get 4 goals on the board, and I do think they cover that puck line. You're getting great money on the Toronto Maple Leafs on that puck line. Let's move on to the next game. Sorry, that game kicking off at 2:10 Eastern for us today. We've now got the Florida Panthers taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. So the Florida Panthers have been hot to start the season. This team is locking down on the defensive side of things. Bobrovsky versus Ershon. The Flyers to get a comeback win. Can they get a comeback win off of the overtime loss versus the Carolina Hurricanes? is a huge question mark out here for us. We've seen the Florida Panthers win 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two, and they're coming off that dominating win versus the Ottawa Senators 6-2. Their power play, it's just absolutely firing on all cylinders. So the Flyers are going to have to stay out of the box if they want the opportunity of getting the win. But I don't think this is going to be an easy game for the Florida Panthers. This is their first road game of the season. I do think they come out, they get that goal in the first period. We know the strength of Florida in the first period, and then teams have the ability to just fight in it to keep those games tight. The road team has covered the puck line in each of the Flyers' last 9 games, though. So little sketchy here if you're liking the Flyers on that puck line to keep it tight with the Florida Panthers, but there's no value. Plus 1.5 anyway is minus 215. You're looking at the Florida Panthers only minus 146 on the money line, plus 122 for the Flyers, total of 5.5. I do think even though Florida is so strong defensively and they're playing these low scoring games, I think the Flyers for some reason are going to hit Bobrovsky in this one. I'm looking at this one to sneak over that total. It's a 4-2 style win here, in my opinion, for one of these teams. If Florida checks it in, I don't think they will, but I could see this being a 4-2 win for one or the other, or a 3-2 style. The 3-2 style doesn't get us over the total. I would prefer the over 5.5 at minus 128. And then I would look at Florida in the first period, and then I would take the Philadelphia Flyers at that point, plus the 1.5 when you're getting a ton more value, because we know Florida's missing some players, but the depth of this team is completely insane out there. Winnipeg, Baron got it. Nice to see. Minus 114 before the game. You missed it. That's too bad. Cohen is a pass first kind of player. Yeah, Cohen is definitely, you're going to see Easton Cohen on that top line with Austin Matthews and Matthew Knives. And those two are pure scorers. Like Matthew Knives and Austin Matthews are going to be lighting the lamp. On the power play, did they score on that power play? Cohen, and the assist for Cohen at plus 220. Irish King, let us know if Winnipeg scored on that power play. You're taking Toronto on the money line in regulation. Matthews, anytime goal, Nylander assist. Great way to go, Irish King. Larkin's first goal in the Red Wings game. Ooh, Dylan Larkin for the first goal. I like it. That's got to be some great plus money. So we're moving on to the next game, you guys. The New Jersey Devils taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, Jacob Markstrom versus Elvis. So we have seen Elvis get one start. He started that game versus Minnesota. He stood on his freaking head. He stopped 48 of 52 shots on his goal. All 4 goals were at even strength. But come on, 52 shots. What is the defense doing in front of him? This defense needs to play stronger at home. We have seen him be able to post a 905 save percentage. Elvis is strong at home. On the other side, the New Jersey Devils, Jacob Markstrom, 1-1 thus far on the season. He has allowed 8 goals on 49 shots. So he's got an 837 save percentage. Marky needs to step up a little bit, and he needs to step out fast, but he does have good numbers versus the Columbus Blue Jackets with the 925 save percentage. The New Jersey Devils are 5-1 in the last 6 versus Columbus, not at Columbus. And they've gone 3-1 in Columbus in the last 4. So this is a place they've had that ability. And in the NHL, those trends really do hold true. But I'm throwing them out the window in this one. I think Columbus has the ability to come here. I love the home dog price we're getting on the Columbus Blue Jackets. I know the Devils can play here, but the Devils are coming off that big upset win. They're minus 120. I will take the Columbus Blue Jackets. I already did up. I got them up plus 104. It's still plus 100. You got a total of 6.5. Now, I do think there's playmakers on both sides. Von Jenner versus the Devils has 20 points in 36 games. You got Shane Monahan here, has 25 points in 20 career games versus the New Jersey Devils. Shane Monahan is who you want to look at for the Columbus Blue Jackets. When we look at the New Jersey Devils, Luke Hughes. I know Jack Hughes is a name everyone talks about, but Luke Hughes leads this team with 2 goals and an assist. So I believe he has 4 points. So no, he has all 4 assists. It's all 4 assists for Luke Hughes. Jack Hughes has been strong at getting those goals. We got Jack Hughes and Jasper Bratt will be your scorers. Luke Hughes for the points, so someone you want to look at. Now, the Devils have lost each of their last 7 road games following a win. That's a really hard trend, especially when they were able to pull off that upset win in their last game. I do think they fall here. So I will take the Columbus Blue Jackets straight up on the money line, plus 100 now, you guys. Also look at Shane Monahan for the points. Um, it wasn't a power play goal. Winnipeg 0-1 on the power play so far. Thank you for keeping me updated. I tell you, I wish my TV was on. I've moved around my studio a little bit, so my TV's at an awkward. It's still here, but it's like my monitor is in the way. So I see you guys in the TV at the top, but I got to move it up on the wall. I just need to hang it. Okay, so the St. Louis Blues versus the Vancouver Canucks. This is my other overtime game. Don't know why I was drawing a blank on it earlier. It's plus 320 only for this game to go to overtime. I'm looking for a complete battle between these two teams. Bainton expected in net here for the St. Louis Blues. Demko for the Vancouver Canucks. The Blues, I think they can get the win in OT. You look at the momentum the St. Louis Blues are rolling in with. You look at the balanced depth on this team, and I do like what we see out of them. You look at that top line. It's Dylan Holloway, Braden Shen, and Jordan Kyrou. That top line is power, and I do think off that win on Saturday versus the Calgary Flames, this team continues to roll. The Blues have won each of their last 8 games against the Western Conference. This is where they've been able to really step up and play strong, and I do think they continue to be able to get it done. So I'm looking at the St. Louis Blues to roll hot, but it's going to not be easy. I do think the overtime bet. Now, when we look at the lines on this game, the St. Louis Blues currently are plus 108. It's worth a shot. Minus 130 here for the Vancouver Canucks, total of 5.5, because I think this one is going to go to overtime. If you see one of these teams go up, look at the puck line on the opposite side for the other team, because I think we're going to go back and forth in this game. You're going to be able to play that money line bet as well. So right now, plus 108 for the St. Louis Blues. If we then see Vancouver go to like a plus 130, plus 140, plus 150 dog price at home, I'll be coming back in because I want to play both sides of things, because overtime games, you never know. Elvis, weird because I don't watch hockey, just listen to you, but I thought Coachella. Yeah, Elvis. I say Elvis because his last name, it starts with an M and I can't pronounce it right. So I just call him Elvis. Elvis is always in the building. So let's move on to the next game here. But for the St. Louis Blues, look at Robert Thomas, look at Kyrou, look at Holloway, look at Shen. On the other side for the Vancouver Canucks, I know he let us down in our Hughes brother parlay, but Quinn Hughes, I do think gets a point here for Vancouver today. The LA Kings taking on the Minnesota Wild is our next game. This is 8:10 Eastern. The LA Kings are minus 110. It's a pick 'em. It's minus 110 either way. We got a total of 5.5. We have seen movement on that. We did see the LA Kings before plus money. So money has come in on the Kings and moved that line. We've seen that total sit solid at 5.5. Now the juice is to the over 5.5 at minus 122. When we look at both of these teams, I was really impressed with the Kings in their games so far. Their style of play is nice and solid out there. Darcy Kemper in net for the LA Kings. Gustafson here for the Minnesota Wild. The Wild against the Kings since 2015 at home are 13-4-1. They have dominated at home versus the LA Kings. Can the Kings pull off the upset? Well, money is starting to come in that direction. And I do think this is another tight one. If you want to take this one to overtime, I'm not going to talk you off it. The LA Kings know how to isolate Kaprizov, though, and lock him down. Kaprizov, 6 points in just 2 games thus far this season. 2 goals and 4 assists, but he didn't score last season against the LA Kings. Now, I do think he missed like one of their couple of games out there because he was injured so much last season. But we'll look at some players that you definitely want to look at the trends versus each other. You look at Trevor Moore. He's already got 4 points on the season, 2 goals, 2 assists. Alex Lafreniere has 1 goal, 2 assists. Fiala has 1 goal, 2 assists. Kempe has 2 goals and 1 assist, all with 3 points. Okay. We need Kopitar to really come through. And we look at Kopitar versus Minnesota, 59 points in 68 games versus the Minnesota Wild. I do think Kopitar comes out phenomenally strong. You look at Corey Perry has been added to the LA Kings. Remember, he got booed when he went into LA for that first game. Did you guys forget, Kings fans, that he's now on your team? Why are you booing him? He can stand up versus the Minnesota Wild. 45 points in 57 games versus the Minnesota Wild. And Drew Doughty coming in with 38 points in 56 games. Kempe with 19 points in 29 games versus the Kings, and more. 13 points in 23. I do think, again, Kempe and Kopitar. Kempe, Kopitar parlayed for the point gets you that great plus money. You throw in Kuzmenko, it is a solid way. I would look at this one to be a game in which they're able to get those points for you. Vladimir Tarasenko for the Minnesota Wild has been able to put up 27 points in 30 career games versus LA. I would circle him. Kaprizov has 17 and 19 games. So even though held off the board last season, he still has got 17 points in 19 games versus them. I would stay off Kaprizov here. They held him off last season, and I do think in this one here at home, we could see it happen again. I'm taking a shot on the Kings. I am breaking some of the trends today, just can't get there. You're going to go with Boldy, anytime goal, and Kaprizov for the assist. Same game parlay. Kopitar for his points and a goal, and Eriksson point and goal. I think the Kings will double team Kaprizov. Yeah, they got to double team Kaprizov. You got to stay off of him for sure. Yeah, get these games on, you guys. Let's have a quick look. Florida back up in give Bob a break. Tarasov confirmed, right? Tarasov. Okay, so I'm going to go. If he is confirmed, I'm going to take the Flyers. I scrapped the bet here on the Panthers. Just take the Flyers to pull off the upset at home. Plus 122 for the Flyers. They have every ability. I like the over originally. I like the over even more. We know Florida's defense will give that protection in front of the net, but I think the Flyers have every ability to get some goals on the board. So give me the Flyers at plus 122 and the over. Looking at these games, the Winnipeg Jets now have two goals out there for the Winnipeg Jets. Let's just see who's been able to get those goals. Niederreiter coming out with one of them. Nyquist getting the assist. Jonathan Towles getting an assist. Pearson getting an assist, and Barron with the other goal. That was the first goal that we looked at of the game. So Eric Crombry has 7 saves already. So nice for him. And the New York Islanders have Sorokin has 9 saves, allowing those 2 goals on 7 saves. So 9 shots on goal. He's allowed 2 in. Sorokin has had some struggles to start the season. Definitely a fade right now. We're still seeing that second period coming in here for the Colorado Avalanche and the Buffalo Sabres 1-1 game. The Lightning are up 2-0 over the Boston Bruins. Hopefully you guys grabbed the puck line there for the Tampa Bay Lightning, or you're able to get on over 3.5 goals. We've got Cirelli with both of those goals. You guys, number 71, the center out there. Jake Gunsel got us a point. So if you took Jake Gunsel for the point, he has got 2 assists. He's got 2 assists now credited with. So great to see. And then the Winnipeg Jets still 2-0, and the Nashville Predators 0-0 between the Nashville Predators, the Ottawa Senators. We are seeing that total dropping to 5.5 plus 142 to the over 5.5. Give me the over 5.5 live in that game all day long. Saros has stopped 6 shots on his goal for the Predators, and the Ottawa Senators, Allmark, has only stopped 3, but those shots will start to come. Okay, you guys. It is time to talk the next game. Trying to go through these as quickly as possible for you. The St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks. We talked about that one going to overtime. We talked the LA Kings and the Minnesota Wild. I like the Kings to pull off the upset. The last game on board is Utah versus Chicago. Chicago yet to win a game. Can they win one here at home? Connor Bedard coming out versus Utah. Now, these are 2 young rebuilding teams that have every ability to light the lamp. It is Vermalka versus Spencer Knight. Give me both teams to score in the first period. I'm looking for this one. This is your night game to get off to a hot start. Both teams to score in the first period, coming in at plus 154. I think it's a solid way to go as these teams battle out back and forth. Now, could we see both of these teams, come out, go over the total? Absolutely. I do think it's a higher scoring one. I expect Connor Bedard to really show up in this matchup. Utah with Clayton Keller has so much ability to be able to light those lamps as well. Clayton Keller is plus 170, Dylan Guenther plus 190. So I do think those are your two top goal scorers, but you could look further down at Logan Cooley. Logan Cooley made us money last season. He's plus 230. Connor Bedard, though, at plus 220, and then Frank Nazar. Frank Nazar is plus 250 to get that anytime goal, and I think both of them have the ability, as well as Tyler Bertuzzi and Tara Vinen. Tara Vinen coming in at plus 330. So lots of opportunities in a higher scoring game that I do think is going to go over that total. You guys, 4 goal scorers in your late night game. Dylan Guenther for the anytime goal. I completely agree with you. You took the over half a point for that long shot, and they had one of them to score one half, kept it off, a 0-5, stiff arm the books. Just asking. I'm not sure. So the over 0.5 is the stiff arm of the books. Just asking. I don't know what you mean. Sorry. Sometimes just understanding what you guys are meaning is when I'm trying to wrap my head around other stuff. It's just not my strong suit. That's why I started early, so you don't kill the books again. That's exactly why they started early. Let's look at the games that are coming up. We'll build that long shot. Let's quickly do the recap of going over where we're sitting at, and then we'll do the long shot in the other games. Again, live betting opportunity. If you're watching this live, let's jump into some live opportunities. The Avs and the Buffalo Sabres, second period started. It's 1-1. Give me the over 6.5, minus 115, live betting opportunity. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. This is a 2-0 game in the first period. Tampa does have defensive issues. Again, I think this goes over the 6.5. It's minus 135. I think Boston plus the 2.5 goals. Man, it's tempting, but I don't trust the Boston Bruins. It is minus 106 if you think they put up a fight. I expect 2 goals out of Boston, but the Tampa Bay Lightning, I already expected 4 goals out of them. That pushes this to 6. So that under, it might have gone too high. I don't know. Can we get 5 out of the Lightning? We absolutely could. So I'd stay off of that if you miss the Tampa Bay going into this one, minus 1.5, unless you want to take a shot. And I don't feel great about it on Boston plus the 2.5. The Winnipeg Jets are up 2-0 over the New York Islanders. If you love the trends, the Islanders have dominated Winnipeg at home. So if you want to look at the Isles, plus 400 is your money line bet right now on the Islanders. I'm not going to do it because I took Winnipeg to get the win, but the plus 2.5 on the New York Islanders at minus 138. Sorokin's not having a day. Maybe he gets yanked. Maybe the Isles can keep it tight. You got plus 1.5 at minus 138. If anything, maybe I'd do just a little bit of sprinkle on the Isles because I've already got the Jets. Plus 400. We know anything can happen. There's puck luck in hockey, guys. The Nashville Predators and the Ottawa Senators. This one has fallen too low. Give me the over 5.5 at plus 148 for your live bets. Now we're going to leave out of the parlay the Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs because this is your last day action, dropping the puck at 210. The Red Wings versus the Leafs. I've got the puck line here for the Leafs and their team total over 3.5. I've got Easton Cohen coming out here for his debut for the point at plus 118. The Toronto Maple Leafs puck line minus 1.5 at plus 152, I think, is money in the bank today. I'm looking for Toronto to get that revenge angle. So let's look at the later games where I'm going to go with these bets, and then we'll build that point parlay out there for you guys as well. So when we look at the next game, when they kick off here, the Florida Panthers versus the Flyers. The Flyers are going to back up goaltending now. The Florida Panthers back up goaltending. I love this game to go to the over, and I think the Flyers can pull off the upset here at home. Give me the over and give me the Flyers on the money line. I would look at this one to be a game where Florida should win, but this is the upset, I think, of the day. The New Jersey Devils and the Columbus Blue Jackets. I love the plus money on the Columbus Blue Jackets at home. I'm taking them straight up on that money line. I'm looking at Shane Monahan for his points today. And then the St. Louis Blues, Vancouver Canucks overtime game plus 320. The Blues to win another game. We're getting them at plus 104 on the money line. And then give me Holloway, Kyrou, and Shen to be able to come out strong. Robert Thomas as well. The LA Kings versus the Minnesota Wild. I know the Wild have dominated the Kings when at home, but I think the Kings pull off the win in this one at plus 104. I would also look at Kopitar to be able to get on the board. And then Utah versus Chicago. Give me both teams to score in the first period at plus 154 in that game. That is the recap, you guys. Sorry. I just hit my pen off my desk. Let's do the player prop parlay. I'm seeing all of you guys. Sabres plus 135. I like where you're going. Yeah, Kelly. The Islanders, if you can sprinkle on them at plus 400 right now, they have dominated at home versus the Winnipeg Jets. So it is a nice way to go. Boston has won six of the last 7 winners. Puck line covers. Yeah. They have covered that puck line. Hang on just 1 second here. So any trends to the dogs being annoying? Maybe the Islanders are going to be annoying to the Winnipeg Jets as we go deeper into this game, because my dog was just driving me crazy licking her tiny little foot. But I don't know about you guys. Something about a dog licking their foot or anything just grosses me right out, and I don't like it. So I couldn't concentrate till she was told to stop. So apologies there for sure, you guys. I'm seeing all your comments flying in. Mishkov for the point. I do like it. He should be able to get on board. And happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Kelly, so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Let's get into this player prop parlay. Again, we're going to leave the Toronto game out of it, but I do think you look at Easton Cohen at plus 118. You look at Austin Matthews for the goal. I do think that's a solid way to go. The New Jersey Devils versus the Columbus Blue Jackets for the point today. I'm going to put Shane Monahan in there. I think Monahan has every ability to be able to get a point on the board. He's had that strength versus the New Jersey Devils, and I do think he comes in nice and strong in this. I'm going to leave out anyone for the New Jersey Devils. You guys brought up Nico Hischier. I think is a solid way to look. But you look at Jack Hughes, Jasper Bratt, and Nico Hischier. They're all so highly juiced that I just don't want to take it. I will take Shane Monahan for the Columbus Blue Jackets for the first player for our point. When we look at the Florida Panthers versus the Philadelphia Flyers here for the point in this one. This one's a little harder. You know, you got Travis Konecny. He is good. You got Mishkov as well. You guys throw out Mishkov. Maybe let's just look at Mishkov. I do like Owen Tippett as a side point bet because he's plus 136. So take him outside of the parlay. But I think it's a nice way to go with Mishkov to come out nice and strong. You guys threw him out. We can't leave him out. He's minus 138. Otherwise, you could look at Travis Konecny. I think both of them can have a solid performance. The St. Louis Blues versus the Vancouver Canucks. Looking here, I already told you Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is almost a $2 price tag for his prop in this one. I'll look at someone here for St. Louis because I do think St. Louis can get it done. You've got Jordan Kyrou on that top line as well as Dylan Holloway. Dylan Holloway's plus 106. Jordan Kyrou's minus 118. I think both of them have the ability. I'll put Kyrou in because he is their top player. And then the LA Kings versus the Minnesota Wild. When we look at the LA Kings versus the Minnesota Wild, like I said, Kaprizov was held off the board by the Kings last season, but I don't know if he is this season. You got Matt Boldy out there as well. It's Kopitar for me. Again, I love that parlay with Kempe and Kopitar, and I think it's a solid way to go. We're already at plus 815 in this 4-leg parlay. We're going to add another leg, you guys. We're going to go 5 legs for these later games. Looking at, actually, let's do 6. We're going to go 6. I want 2 players on this. This is the high scoring game of the night. I really do think. Clayton Keller, odds on favorite to get a goal for Utah. Rightly so. Fantastic. You got then Dylan Gunther and Logan Cooley. Those are your top three. Connor Bedard, the top favorite for the Chicago Blackhawks. Nazar coming in as the second. The third there for that point is Teravainen and then Tyler Bertuzzi. Let's reluctantly put that high price tag in on Clayton Keller. He's minus 240, but it takes a plus 815 up to a plus 1196. And I think Clayton Keller can get on the board, and then it's got to be Connor Bedard for me. We have 6 legs of our long shot Madden point parlay. We have it, you guys. Okay, here we go. It is Clayton Keller for 1 point. Connor Bedard for 1 point. That is the Utah and the Chicago game. If you just take those two for a point, you can put it at plus 131. I don't want to do that. We're doing a 6-leg parlay. Okay, let's get back to it. So Clayton Keller for Utah, Connor Bedard for Chicago, Shane Monahan for the the Columbus Blue Jackets is Shane Monahan, Michkov here for the Flyers, Jordan Kyrou for the St. Louis Blues, and Kopitar for the LA Kings. 6 legs plus 2019. A $10 bet repays you $201. Again, one more time, this is a point parlay. This isn't an anytime goal parlay, but definitely players that you can see getting that goal. Clayton Keller for a point, Connor Bedard for a point, Shane Monahan for the point, Michkov for the point, Kyrou for the point, and Kopitar for the point. 6-leg parlay, $10 paying you back $201.96. Let's make some freaking money. Kelly, you're agreeing both teams to score in the Chicago game. Maybe someone has the over 1.5 points. Yeah, you can look at I think Logan Cooley, Clayton Keller. There's a lot of opportunities to go over a couple of points. Connor Bedard probably has a couple of points at home. They need to get things back on the right track there in Chicago, and this is a team that's hungry to get the win in front of their home crowd. You guys, I freaking love being here with you every day on Puckett with Joe. I appreciate your guys' support so very much. Colorado is up 2-1 over the Buffalo Sabres. That total 6.5. Now minus 160 to the over if you're looking at that game. I tell you, this is going to be a back and forth battle all day. The plus 1.5 on the Buffalo Sabres at minus 104. I don't think Colorado covers that puck line. So if you want to go there, we're still seeing 2-0 for Tampa over Boston. Nothing to jump in on. I don't love that game right now. I did take Tampa originally, laying the 1.5. The Winnipeg Jets and the Islanders. The Islanders have dominated. Kelly pointed it out. I was talking about it earlier as well. The Islanders beat Winnipeg in their own building. They're plus 430 for the comeback win. Is it worth the sprinkle? Well, I thought the Winnipeg Jets would get the win, but plus 430. You guys know me. I freaking love that plus money. That's a hard place not to jump. The Nashville Predators, Ottawa Senators. The total has dropped to 4.5. No value. It's minus 160. I think we go over the original number. If we're looking at that second period, I won't be shocked if we get a goal in the late 5 minutes here of this first period. But when we look at the second period, for both of these teams to come out strong. The Ottawa Senators laying a half a goal in the second period, plus 135. I will take as soon as I get off here. Fingers crossed that number is going to be still around. I would also look at the over 1.5 goals in the first period. The books think so too. You can't bet it. It's minus 175. Both teams to score in the second period at plus 130. I do think is another way to go. Let's freaking go Colorado 2-1. Whew. It's going to be a great day. You guys, thank you so much. If you can do me a favor, comment below the live video after we're done here. It really does help the algorithms. If you could hype the video, share it, do all of the above, I would appreciate it. I want to thank you guys all for so much support over here on my YouTube channel. It just makes me so happy to see you guys coming into the comments each and every single day. It means the world. So to all of you, thank you so much. It's our 5th season here. Puckett with Joe, going over every single game of the NHL season every day. Again, if I'm unable to do the show, I will pre-record it to make sure you guys get those hockey bets. So I appreciate each and every single one of you. 2 goals each in regulation. Toronto wins in reg. I like where you're going with that. The Blue Jays runs. The Blue Jays have to get the win today over the Seattle Mariners. They lost yesterday. George Springer getting us that home run, but then Seattle taking it. Vladdy needs to step up. Give me Vladdy for the home run. I believe he's plus 320 for that home run today, you guys. Vladimir Guerrero has been a stud in the playoffs, and we're seeing Yasavich. Yeah, Yasavich is, I don't pronounce it right, coming out here for the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Yankees, you guys. He had 11 strikeouts. His strikeout props is only 5.5. It's kind of juicy to the over. His outs are only 13.5. Why the heck only 13.5 outs for Yasavich? I do think the Seattle Mariners will get struck out versus him. Got Logan Gilbert on the other side. So that is going to be my cup of Joe. I'll put it out right away. I don't think that one, we're not having early MLB games, right? Yeah. 5 o'clock Eastern. I'll put it in my cup of Joe, but no, I am taking Yasavich over 13.5 outs, over 5.5 strikeouts. I'm going to take Vladdy for the home run. Logan Gilbert and Yasavich to combine for over for 4+ strikeouts in the first innings, like plus 280, plus 290, I believe. I will take that because I think Yasavich gets 3. We just need 1 out of Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert strikeout prop is only was it 4.5? I can't remember exactly. I didn't take it. It was way too highly juiced, but I do think both of these pitchers are going to be phenomenal in this game. I wanted to play the Nerfy, but you can't play the Nerfy. It's way too high. The under 3.5 runs in the first 5 innings was another way to look at it. So you guys, it's going to be a great day. I'm seeing the rest of your comments coming up here. So thank you. Yeah, if you guys can hit that heart, let's make some freaking money. I really appreciate it, Kelly. So what did you put in? Okay. Both teams to score and the overtime bet for the Blue Jackets tie. I don't hate the overtime bets. I think we got a great day of a couple overtime games. So you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Yeah, the crowd dead quiet. So the Blue Jays bounce back today. Bounce back hard with Yasavich. So stay tuned for my cup of Joe. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. It's amazing how I hate getting off the show. It's 51 minutes. You think I'd be done talking? I could sit here and talk to each and every one of you all day. Thank you so much for joining me here. Let's make some freaking money. I'll see you tomorrow for another Pocket with Joe.